Although in the comics and in the series, we have always been told that Zordon is on the side of good, we do not really know if all this is a lie, a story invented by Zordon himself. When a person tells a story, he usually tells the things that suit him and does not tell the whole truth. This is why. If in all the stories Zordon has always been the good guy, then it could be a total lie or at least a story with many gaps to fill. In a past video, we talked about how Zordon and Lord Zed were allies. Even Lord Zed was his master, which means that there may be another side of the story, the version of Zofram, or now better known as Lord Zed. Zofram was a very committed warrior, so much so that the elders of Elter named him Supreme Guardian, the highest level of guardians, and for this you must be a worthy warrior. Zordon was only chosen by Zofram himself. He was not chosen by the elders, who are much wiser beings than a normal Eltarian as Zofram was, which means that he could have been wrong to choose Zordon among the guardians of Elter. If we analyze the supposed story, we can see that the Zeo crystal was endangering the lives of many, and this is why Zofram wanted to take the crystal to his home planet. Then the elders deny him this request so he could make a safer decision, since the crystal was very powerful. This is where the story can begin to change, as there are several things that could have been different and things that are a bit incoherent. In the story that has been told in the comics and that can only be Zordon's version, it is said that Zofram gets so angry with the elders that he decides to take the crystal himself and take it to the home planet, but supposedly when he takes it, it causes an explosion and burns completely. Then after that, Zofram becomes a malevolent being who wants to murder Zordon and Zardoz. The strange thing is that Zardoz was the one who saved his life, and he had no reason to want to harm Zardoz or Zordon. If we analyze the story, it could have been that Zordon, in his little ingenuity as a novice in the warriors, wanted to get the Zeo crystal to have more power, and Zofram caught him trying to steal it. Then after this, Zordon attacked him and burned him, to later say that Zofram had died, but when he finds out that Zardoz knew that Zofram was alive, he threatens to do the same to him, and this is why Zardoz remains silent at the moment Zofram is declared dead. Perhaps this is why Zardoz goes in search of the other crystals to defeat Zordon, and although we still cannot decipher if Zardoz is all good or bad, if we can understand that this may be one side of the version. As the years have passed and Zofram has become Lord Zed, perhaps he has only wanted to take revenge on Zordon for what he did to him, and Zed has been deceiving young people to turn them into rangers so that they can protect him. Most likely with the passing of time, Lord Zed has become a being with a lot of hate inside him because of the thirst for revenge and the mental instability he had over time for having gone through an event like this and having a burned body, which perhaps brings other challenges and cannot feel like a warrior. Speaking of Zardoz, at one point in the story it talks about how Zordon was living deceived and supposedly Zardoz was lying to him about being a good guardian, but in the end, he only wanted to get the crystals to create the Imperials, beings of darkness and evil, but who are only controlled by the one who possesses the crystals of the three emissaries. Although Zardoz did not kill the first emissary, but according to the story he really did kill the second. What we do not know is if in reality the second emissary was killed by Zordon, but Zardoz managed to get the crystal so that it did not fall into the wrong hands of Zordon. As we said at the beginning, we do not know if Zardoz is a neutral being who does not care about eliminating a population, since he only wants to supposedly seek to improve life, but it can still be believed that he also has a war formed against Zordon, and most likely this only has him threatened so that he does not tell the truth. The only one who knew the truth of the matter was Lord Zed, and that is why the three of them have a battle where Zordon manages to kill Zardoz to free the Imperials, the dark beings that could cause him problems. The problem that Zardoz may have with Zordon is because of the threat of keeping quiet about who had really killed Zofram, and the problem that Lord Zed has with Zardoz is for keeping quiet and not speaking before the elders of Elter. Lord Zedd's problem with Zordon is for revenge, and that is why the three of them had that fight. All this story happened 10,000 years ago, and we do not know about the confrontations and changes that could have happened during all that time. We also do not know about the supposed version of Zardis, since deceiving humans is easy, but it is very difficult that they could deceive the elders of Elter, and that is why this story about Zophram becoming Lord Zedd just for wanting to do good with the crystal is a bit doubtful. After 30 years of knowing a version of Zordon and his supposed sacrifice, we do not know if this sacrifice was all a trick for Zordon to free himself from the tube and disappear from the radar to start another life, or an improved plan in which he cannot only be the conqueror of the Earth, but of the entire universe. If we see in the series Lord Zedd becomes human and not in his true form, which is an Eltarian, this is why, perhaps the alleged sacrifice and transformation of the villains was not a transformation, but a massive spell which would erase from existence the true villains and those who really are not, then transform them into humans and not in their native form. In the special episode we could see that Zordon almost returned, but Rita took advantage of that opportunity to take over Alpha's body so she could return, even if it was as a robot. Even though we were told that this was Rita Repulsa, we really don't know if it was just dark magic on Zordon's part, who perhaps wasn't ready to return and show his true form yet. Maybe Zordon's plan has always been the same for thousands of years, but now in cosmic fury he may be ready and Billy can help him return without knowing that he is only coming to conquer the universe. It's very likely that the Morphin Masters don't know what Billy has been trying, and perhaps Zordon wants to take them by surprise. Zordon knows that the only ones who could stop him are the Morphin Masters, although after Lord Zedd escaped, we are left wondering if the Morphin Masters are really that powerful to be able to stop the Eltarians. We must remember that Lord Zedd is going to be building his command center on planet Elter, so we don't know if this was Zordon's plan from the beginning, since on that planet he is going to be stronger. Obviously, all of these are theories, since we have been shown all our lives that Zordon is a good being and that he wants to protect the Earth, but let's remember that the best plans are those that are built in secret for thousands of years. Cosmic Fury premieres on September 29th, and let's hope we get to see Zordon return no matter what his intentions are. Write your opinion about Zordon's return in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more Power Rangers theories.